Listen carefully. Most people lose their future before the sun even rises. They wake up tired. They scroll endlessly. They complain about life. They delay their goals. And slowly, day after day, they destroy their own potential without even realizing it, but not you. Because today you are making a different decision. A decision to wake up early. A decision to take control of your mind. A decision to stop surviving and start building the life you truly deserve. The morning is powerful. It is the only time when the world is quiet enough for you to hear your own soul. And if you learn to master your mornings, you can master your entire life. Wake up, not just from your sleep. Wake up from the version of yourself that has been living below its potential. Every morning you are given two choices. You can stay in bed, repeat old habits, waste another day, and continue living the same life. Or you can rise with purpose. The truth is simple. Successful people are not magical people. They simply learn to do what others refuse to do consistently. They wake up early when they do not feel like it. They work when others are distracted. They stay disciplined when others make excuses. And over time, those small daily decisions completely transform their lives. Your morning matters. Because the first hour of your day shapes your mindset, your emotions, your focus, and your energy. If your morning begins with negativity, laziness, and distraction, your entire day becomes weak. But if your morning begins with purpose, discipline, gratitude, and focus, your entire life starts changing. Imagine waking up before the world, no noise, no pressure, no chaos. Just you, your thoughts, your dreams, and your future waiting to be built. That quiet moment in the morning is where strong people are created. This is where confidence is built. Not through motivation alone, but through discipline. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what feels good right now. Your bed feels comfortable, but your dreams are more important. Your phone wants your attention, but your future deserves your focus. You say you want success, then prove it to yourself every morning, because every sunrise is asking you one question. Are you serious about changing your life? Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait until you feel ready. Most people wait their entire lives for motivation. But winners understand something powerful. Action creates motivation. When you wake up early, move your body, clear your mind, and attack your goals, energy begins to appear naturally. Momentum changes everything. One productive morning creates a productive day. A productive day creates confidence. Confidence creates belief. Belief creates action. And repeated action creates success. Your future is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built quietly. Every morning, while everyone else is asleep, there is greatness inside you. But greatness cannot grow inside comfort. You must challenge yourself daily. Wake up earlier. Think better thoughts. Protect your mind. Feed your vision. Stay away from negativity. Stop comparing yourself to others. Your journey is your own. Some people wake up and immediately fill their minds with fear, bad news, stress, and distraction. Then they wonder why they feel unhappy all day. Guard your mind carefully. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant there every morning will grow throughout the day. Plant discipline, plant gratitude, plant belief, plant focus. And slowly, your life will begin to change from the inside out. Do not underestimate small habits. Reading 10 pages every morning may seem small. Working out for 30 minutes may seem small. Planning your day may seem small. But small actions repeated daily create extraordinary results over time. That is how powerful people are built. Not overnight, not instantly, but consistently. There will be mornings when you feel tired. Wake up anyway. There will be mornings when life feels heavy. Wake up anyway. There will be mornings when doubt fills your mind. Wake up anyway. Because discipline during difficult moments is what separates average people from extraordinary people. Remember this. Your future self is watching you right now. The person you dream of becoming is created by the choices you make today. Every early morning is an investment in your future. Every disciplined action is proof that you believe in yourself. And every time you refuse to quit, you become stronger mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You are capable of far more than you think. But you must stop living on autopilot. Stop wasting your mornings. Stop delaying your goals. Stop saying tomorrow. Your life is happening now. This morning matters. This hour matters. This decision matters. Wake up with hunger. Wake up with gratitude. Wake up with purpose. And when the world is sleeping, build yourself quietly. One day people will look at your life and call you lucky. But you will know the truth. It was not luck. It was the early mornings, the discipline, the consistency, the sacrifice, the mindset, the decision to never give up on yourself. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings, do not negotiate with your dreams. Get up. Take a deep breath, stand tall, and remind yourself, I have another chance to become stronger, wiser, healthier, and closer to the life I deserve. This is your time. Wake up early. Start your day right and transform your life one morning at a time. Every morning you wake up, you are standing at the beginning of a new opportunity. Most people do not realize how powerful the first moments of the day truly are. They open their eyes and immediately allow stress, distraction, negativity, and laziness to take control. Before they even leave their bed, their mind is already overwhelmed. They check their phone, compare their lives to others, replay old problems in their head, and slowly drain their own energy. What they fail to understand is that the way a person begins the morning often determines the direction of the entire day. Your morning is not just a routine. It is a foundation, and if the foundation is weak, everything built on top of it becomes unstable. A peaceful, focused, disciplined morning creates mental clarity, emotional strength, and confidence. But a chaotic morning creates frustration, confusion, and weakness. This is why successful people protect their mornings so carefully. They know that the first hour after waking up can either empower the mind or destroy momentum before the day even begins. Think about it carefully. When you wake up late, rush out of bed, skip preparation, and begin your day with panic, your entire body enters a stressful state. Your thoughts become disorganized. Your emotions become reactive. You lose focus easily. Small problems start feeling bigger than they really are. But when you wake up early with intention, something changes inside you. You feel more in control. You breathe differently. You think clearly. You move through the day with greater confidence, because your mind was prepared before the world demanded your attention. The morning is the only time when life becomes quiet enough for you to hear yourself honestly. Early mornings give you space to think about your goals, your future, your habits, and the kind of person you want to become. That silence is powerful. It allows you to reconnect with your purpose instead of immediately getting lost in noise and distraction. People who master their mornings are often people who master their emotions, because they begin the day intentionally instead of emotionally reacting to everything around them. Your habits in the morning slowly shape your identity. If every day begins with procrastination, excuses, and negativity, eventually those behaviors become part of who you are. But if every morning begins with discipline, gratitude, learning, exercise, and focus, then strength becomes part of your character. Success is not created in one dramatic moment. It is created quietly through repeated daily routines that shape the mind over time. Many people wait for motivation before taking action. But motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you will not feel inspired. Some mornings you will feel tired, stressed, or emotionally drained. That is why discipline matters more than feelings. Waking up early, making your bed, exercising, reading, planning your goals, and protecting your peace, even when you do not feel like it, builds mental toughness. And mental toughness changes everything. It teaches you that you are capable of leading yourself instead of being controlled by temporary emotions. The way you start your morning also affects how you see yourself. Every time you wake up early and honor your goals, you build self-respect. You prove to yourself that your dreams matter. Confidence does not come only from success. Confidence grows when you consistently keep promises to yourself. Small victories in the morning create belief inside the mind. That belief becomes momentum, and momentum creates transformation over time. There is also something deeply powerful about choosing growth before comfort. Your bed may feel comfortable, but comfort has never created greatness. The people who change their lives are usually the people willing to do difficult things repeatedly. They understand that every morning is a battle between the old self and the future self. One side wants comfort, delay, and excuses. The other side wants growth, purpose, and discipline. The decision you make in those early moments matters more than you think. Your future is shaped by ordinary mornings. Not by luck, not by talent alone, but by the repeated choices you make every single day after you wake up. If you learn to win the morning, you slowly begin winning your mindset, your habits, your emotions, your confidence, and eventually your life. Discipline does not begin when everything feels easy. It begins in the quiet moment when the alarm rings and your mind immediately searches for excuses. That moment may seem small, but it reveals a great deal about your mindset, your habits, and your future. Most people think discipline is about big achievements, intense workouts, or major sacrifices. In reality, discipline begins with the smallest decisions, especially the decision to get out of bed when comfort is pulling you back. The alarm clock represents more than waking up. It represents opportunity. It represents responsibility. It represents the difference between the person you are today and the person you want to become. When the alarm rings, two versions of you begin fighting for control. One version wants comfort, delay, and temporary pleasure. The other version wants growth, purpose, and progress. The decision you make in that moment shapes your mentality for the rest of the day. Most people lose the first battle of the day because they negotiate with comfort. They hit snooze again and again, convincing themselves that a few extra minutes do not matter. But those small moments matter deeply because habits are built through repetition. Every time you ignore discipline, you train your mind to choose comfort over growth. Over time, this weakens your self-control and damages your confidence. You begin proving to yourself that your goals are less important than temporary comfort. Strong people understand something different. They understand that discipline is not about feelings. There will always be mornings when you feel tired, unmotivated, stressed, or emotionally drained. If you wait until you feel ready, you will waste years of your life. Discipline means taking action regardless of your emotions. It means getting up because your future matters more than your mood. The moment you force yourself out of bed, despite discomfort, you build mental strength. You teach yourself that you are capable of controlling your actions instead of being controlled by your feelings. This changes the way you see yourself. Confidence grows when you consistently keep promises to yourself. Every disciplined morning becomes proof that you are becoming stronger mentally and emotionally. People often search for motivation through videos, books, or speeches, but true transformation happens through action. You can listen to powerful words all day, but if you cannot control yourself when the alarm rings, your life will not change. Discipline is practical. It is visible through behavior. It is built through repetition. And mornings are the perfect training ground, because they force you to choose between comfort and purpose every single day. There is also something powerful about waking up before the world becomes busy. Early mornings create peace and clarity. They give you time to think, plan, exercise, learn, and prepare your mind before the pressures of the day begin. When you wake up early consistently, you stop feeling like life is controlling you. Instead, you begin taking control of your life intentionally. Discipline in the morning affects every area of your life. When you start the day by doing something difficult, your mindset changes. You become more focused, more productive, and more resilient throughout the day. Small problems no longer feel overwhelming because you already proved to yourself that you can overcome discomfort. Winning the first battle of the morning creates momentum. The opposite is also true. When you repeatedly choose comfort over discipline, it becomes easier to procrastinate in every area of life. You delay goals, you avoid responsibilities, you lose focus quickly. Slowly, laziness becomes a habit, and habits eventually shape identity. This is why disciplined people guard their mornings carefully. They know the morning sets the emotional and mental tone for the entire day. Another important truth is that discipline creates freedom. Many people think discipline is restrictive, but the reality is the opposite. Lack of discipline creates stress, regret, financial problems, unhealthy habits, and wasted potential. Discipline creates structure, confidence, peace, and progress. The ability to wake up on time, follow routines, and stay committed to your goals gives you control over your future. Every successful person has moments where they did not feel like continuing. They felt tired too. They felt discouraged too. The difference is that they acted anyway. They understood that greatness is built through consistency, not convenience. Small disciplined actions repeated daily become powerful results over time. The alarm clock is not your enemy. It is a test. It asks one important question every morning: are you serious about changing your life? Your answer is revealed by your actions, not your words. When you rise despite discomfort, you strengthen your character. You become more reliable, more focused, and more determined. Over time, those early disciplined mornings quietly transform the way you think, the way you work, and the way you live. Early mornings have a special kind of power that most people never experience because they remain asleep while opportunity quietly passes by. There is something transformative about waking up before the world becomes loud, before distractions begin pulling your attention in every direction, and before negativity starts filling your mind. In those quiet hours, strong minds are built and strong futures begin to take shape. The people who consistently rise early often develop a different level of discipline, focus, and emotional control because they have learned how to master themselves before facing the world. Most people live reactively. They wake up late, rush through the morning, and immediately allow stress and pressure to control their emotions. Their day begins with panic instead of purpose. They feel behind before the day has even truly started. But early mornings create a completely different experience. When you wake up early, you gain time to think clearly, prepare mentally, and move with intention rather than confusion. You stop surviving the day and start leading it. Strong minds are not created through comfort. They are created through repeated moments of discipline. Every morning that you choose to rise early, especially when your body wants to stay in bed, you strengthen your self-control. You teach yourself that your goals matter more than temporary comfort. This may seem small, but repeated small victories create powerful mental toughness over time. The ability to control yourself in the morning slowly improves your ability to control your emotions, habits, and decisions throughout life. Early mornings also create mental clarity. During the day, the world becomes filled with noise, notifications, responsibilities, opinions, stress, and endless distractions. It becomes difficult to hear your own thoughts. But in the early morning, there is silence. That silence allows you to reconnect with yourself. It gives you space to reflect on your goals, your direction, your mistakes, and your future. Many people spend years feeling lost because they never give themselves enough quiet time to think honestly about who they are becoming. There is a reason many successful people value their mornings deeply. They understand that mornings shape momentum. A focused morning often leads to a productive day. A productive day creates confidence. Confidence builds motivation and consistency. Over time, these repeated patterns transform a person's future completely. Success is rarely built through one dramatic event. It is built quietly through disciplined routines, repeated daily while others are still sleeping. When you wake up early, you also gain the opportunity to invest in yourself before giving energy to the rest of the world. You can exercise, read, learn new skills, meditate, pray, write down goals, or simply sit in peace and prepare your mindset. These activities strengthen the mind because they improve focus, patience, awareness, and emotional stability. A strong future is impossible without a strong mind, and strong minds require consistent training. Many people want confidence, but confidence is not created by words alone. Real confidence grows when you consistently keep promises to yourself. Waking up early every day becomes a form of self-respect. It tells your mind, my future matters. Every disciplined morning becomes evidence that you are serious about growth. Over time, your brain begins trusting your ability to follow through on commitments. That trust becomes inner strength. Early mornings also separate dreamers from action takers. Almost everyone has goals, but very few people are willing to make sacrifices for them consistently. The future belongs to people who are willing to do difficult things repeatedly. Getting out of bed early may not seem life-changing in one moment, but over months and years, it builds qualities that change everything. Discipline, focus, patience, consistency, and resilience. There will always be excuses. Some mornings you will feel tired. Some mornings you will feel unmotivated or emotionally exhausted. But strong people do not rely on feelings alone. They understand that growth often begins when comfort ends. Every time you rise despite discomfort, you strengthen your character. You become less controlled by emotions and more guided by purpose. The truth is that your future is built in ordinary moments. It is built when no one is watching. It is built in quiet mornings when you choose discipline over excuses. Most people only notice success at the end, but they never see the early mornings, the sacrifices, the routines, and the repeated acts of self-control that created it. A strong future requires preparation. Opportunities mean nothing if your mind is weak, distracted, or undisciplined. Early mornings prepare you mentally and emotionally for the challenges of life. They create structure in your day and stability in your thoughts. Over time, that structure becomes power. And that power slowly transforms not only your habits but your entire identity. Every time you press the snooze button on your alarm, you are doing more than delaying your morning. You are delaying your potential, your goals, and the future you keep saying you want. Most people think the snooze button is harmless. They tell themselves that a few more minutes of sleep do not matter. But success and failure are often shaped by small, repeated choices, not dramatic moments. The habit of constantly delaying action slowly trains your mind to avoid discomfort, postpone responsibility, and choose temporary comfort over long-term growth. Dreams require action. Goals require discipline. But when you repeatedly ignore the alarm and stay in bed, You strengthen the habit of hesitation. You teach yourself to delay effort whenever life feels uncomfortable. That mentality does not stay limited to mornings. It slowly spreads into every area of life. You begin delaying workouts, postponing goals, avoiding difficult conversations, and waiting endlessly for the perfect time to change. Over time, procrastination becomes part of your identity. There is a battle that happens every morning between comfort and purpose. Comfort tells you to stay where it feels safe and easy. Purpose tells you to rise and become the person you were meant to be. The problem is that comfort feels good in the moment, while growth often feels difficult at first. Many people choose immediate comfort without realizing they are sacrificing future happiness and success. They stay asleep not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. Your dreams are not built while you are lying in bed wishing for a better life. They are built through action, consistency, sacrifice, and discipline. Every successful person understands this truth. They know there are mornings when motivation disappears completely. There are mornings when the body feels tired and the mind feels weak. But they also understand that feelings cannot always be trusted. If you only take action when you feel inspired, you will never become consistent enough to create real transformation. The snooze button represents more than sleep. It represents delay. It is a symbol of avoiding the responsibilities that could improve your life. Every time you hit it, you are making a decision. You are saying that comfort matters more than progress in that moment. One delay may seem small, but repeated delays create wasted months and wasted years. People often wonder why their life never changes, while at the same time continuing habits that keep them trapped in the same cycle. Strong people learn how to act before they feel ready. They understand that growth begins the moment they stop negotiating with excuses. When the alarm rings, they rise, because they know discipline is more valuable than temporary comfort. They know that each morning is a new opportunity to move closer to the life they want. That early decision creates momentum, and momentum changes everything. There is also a psychological effect that comes from immediately winning the first battle of the day. When you wake up on time and refuse to hit snooze, you instantly build confidence and self-respect. You prove to yourself that your goals are important. Your brain begins trusting your ability to follow through on commitments. This may seem simple, but confidence is built through repeated evidence. Every disciplined action tells your mind, I can rely on myself. On the other hand, constantly delaying your mornings creates frustration and guilt. Deep inside, you know you are capable of more, but your habits continue pulling you backward. Over time, this weakens your belief in yourself. You begin doubting your ability to stay disciplined because your actions repeatedly contradict your goals. That internal conflict drains motivation and creates mental exhaustion. Waking up immediately when the alarm rings also strengthens mental toughness. Life will always contain difficult moments. There will always be stress, pressure, setbacks, and discomfort. If you cannot overcome the simple discomfort of leaving a warm bed, it becomes harder to face bigger challenges with strength and determination. But every time you rise despite not feeling like it, you train yourself to become emotionally stronger. Most people think success is about talent or intelligence, but often it is about consistency. The person who wins in life is usually the one willing to do difficult things repeatedly, while others avoid them. Small disciplined habits practiced daily create extraordinary results over time. The morning is where those habits begin. Your future is watching your daily choices carefully. The person you want to become is shaped by what you do repeatedly, not by what you say occasionally. If you continue hitting snooze on your mornings, eventually you begin hitting snooze on your entire life. Opportunities pass by, Goals remain unfinished. Potential remains hidden. But the moment you decide to rise immediately, take control of your morning and stop negotiating with comfort, something powerful changes inside you. You stop acting like a victim of your habits and start becoming the leader of your own life. That one decision repeated daily has the power to transform your mindset, your confidence, and your future completely. Most people focus too much on big goals and not enough on small daily habits. They dream about success, confidence, wealth, health, and happiness, but they ignore the routines that actually create those results. The truth is that your destiny is not shaped by what you do once in a while. It is shaped by what you do consistently every single day. Your habits quietly build your future, whether those habits are helping you grow or slowly holding you back. Every action repeated daily becomes part of your identity. If you wake up every morning with discipline, focus, and purpose, eventually those qualities become natural to you. But if you repeatedly choose laziness, distraction, excuses, and procrastination, those behaviors also become part of who you are. Habits are powerful because they operate automatically. After repeating something enough times, your brain begins following the pattern without much resistance. This is why small routines matter so much. They may feel insignificant in the moment, but over time they create massive consequences. Think about the power of consistency. Reading 10 pages every day may not seem life-changing at first, but over a year, it can completely transform your mindset and knowledge. Exercising for 30 minutes daily may feel small, but over time it changes your energy, health, confidence, and discipline. Saving a small amount of money consistently can create financial stability. Practicing positive thinking daily can strengthen emotional resilience. Small actions repeated over months and years become powerful results. Many people fail not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they lack strong habits. They rely too much on motivation and emotions. Some days they work hard, and other days they completely give up. But success does not come from random bursts of effort. It comes from steady discipline. The people who transform their lives are usually the people who continue showing up even when they do not feel motivated. Your habits also shape the way you think. A person who spends hours every day consuming negativity, gossip, distractions, and meaningless entertainment slowly weakens their mindset. Their focus disappears. Their confidence drops. Their mind becomes filled with comparison and anxiety. But someone who feeds their mind with learning, discipline, positivity, and purpose develops mental clarity and emotional strength. What you repeatedly expose yourself to becomes part of your mental environment. One of the most dangerous things about bad habits is that their consequences are usually invisible at first. Wasting one morning does not seem serious. Skipping one workout feels harmless. Delaying one responsibility feels small, but repeated daily, these habits slowly create failure, stress, regret, and lost potential. The same is true for positive habits. Their rewards may not appear immediately, but over time they create transformation. Greatness is often invisible in the beginning because it is built quietly through discipline and repetition. Your destiny is created long before success becomes visible. People often admire successful individuals without seeing the habits behind their achievements. They notice the results but ignore the years of preparation, sacrifice, and consistency. Every strong future is built through repeated routines that strengthen the mind, body, and character. The quality of your life is directly connected to the quality of your habits. Another important truth is that habits either create freedom or create limitation. Good habits make life easier over time. Discipline improves confidence. Exercise improves energy. Learning improves opportunities. Planning improves productivity. But bad habits slowly create stress and chaos. Procrastination creates pressure. Laziness creates regret. Negativity creates emotional exhaustion. Your daily routines are either building your future or damaging it. Changing your life does not always require one huge decision. Sometimes it begins with changing one small habit consistently, waking up earlier, drinking more water, reading daily, spending less time on distractions, practicing gratitude, exercising regularly, speaking positively to yourself. These simple actions may seem ordinary, but ordinary habits repeated long enough create extraordinary lives. There will always be days when you feel tired or discouraged. That is normal, but discipline means continuing your habits, even when emotions change. Feelings come and go, but routines create stability. Strong habits allow you to move forward, even during difficult seasons of life. They become the system that keeps you growing when motivation disappears. Your future self is being shaped by the routines you practice today. Every habit is like casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. If you repeatedly choose growth, discipline, and focus, you slowly build a stronger version of yourself. But if you continue feeding bad habits, you weaken your own potential. Life rarely changes overnight. Transformation happens slowly, quietly, and consistently. The small decisions you make every morning, every afternoon, and every night eventually become your destiny. That is why your habits matter more than temporary emotions. They are the invisible force shaping your future every single day. Your mind is one of the most powerful forces in your life. It shapes your emotions, your decisions, your habits, your confidence, and ultimately your future. Yet most people allow negativity to enter their minds freely every single morning without realizing the damage it causes. The moment they wake up, they immediately expose themselves to stress, fear, bad news, social media comparisons, toxic conversations, and endless distractions. Before the day even begins, their energy is already drained. This is why protecting your mind from morning negativity is so important. The way you feed your mind in the early hours of the day often determines the emotional direction of everything that follows. Morning is a sensitive time for the brain. Your thoughts are fresh, your subconscious is active, and your emotional state is highly impressionable. Whatever enters your mind first begins influencing your attitude, focus, and energy. If the first thing you consume is negativity, your brain starts preparing for stress instead of growth. You begin reacting emotionally instead of thinking clearly. Small problems feel bigger. Your patience becomes weaker. Your motivation decreases. Negativity in the morning quietly follows you throughout the day. One of the biggest sources of modern negativity is social media. Many people wake up and instantly start scrolling through other people's lives. They compare their appearance, success, money, relationships, and lifestyle to strangers on a screen. Within minutes, feelings of insecurity, jealousy, and frustration begin growing inside them. Instead of starting the day with gratitude and focus, they begin with comparison and self-doubt. This habit weakens confidence over time, because your mind starts focusing on what you lack instead of appreciating what you already have. Another dangerous source of negativity is constant exposure to stressful information early in the morning. People wake up and immediately fill their minds with arguments, bad news, fear, gossip, and chaos. While it is important to stay informed, constantly feeding your brain negativity first thing in the morning creates emotional heaviness. Your nervous system enters a stressful state before your day has even properly started. Over time, this affects your mental health, focus, and emotional stability. Protecting your mind means becoming intentional about what you allow into your mental space. Just as you protect your body from unhealthy food, You must protect your mind from unhealthy thoughts and influences. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant there daily will eventually grow. If you repeatedly plant fear, negativity, doubt, and distraction, your thoughts become weak and chaotic. But if you plant discipline, gratitude, learning, peace, and positivity, your mind becomes stronger and calmer. Strong people understand the importance of controlling their mental environment. They do not allow random negativity to dominate their mornings. Instead, they begin the day with habits that strengthen their mindset. Some people pray or meditate. Others exercise, read, write goals, practice gratitude, or listen to positive messages. These habits help create emotional balance and mental clarity. They prepare the mind for challenges instead of allowing stress to control the day. Protecting your mind also means protecting your energy from negative people. Some individuals constantly complain, criticize, gossip, and spread pessimism. Spending too much time around this kind of energy affects your mindset more than you realize. Emotions are contagious. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, eventually your thinking becomes negative too. Strong minds require healthy environments. You cannot build a positive life while feeding your brain constant negativity every day. Morning negativity also affects productivity. When your mind begins the day distracted or emotionally overwhelmed, your focus weakens. You waste time, lose motivation easily, and struggle to stay disciplined. But when your morning begins with peace and clarity, you think better and work better. Your decisions improve because your mind is calmer and more intentional. Another important truth is that protecting your mind is a form of self-respect. It means recognizing that your mental health matters. Too many people spend their mornings consuming content that leaves them anxious, angry, or emotionally exhausted. Then they wonder why they feel unhappy throughout the day. Your emotional state is deeply connected to what you repeatedly expose yourself to. There will always be negativity in the world. There will always be stress, criticism, fear, and problems. But you do not have to invite that negativity into your mind the moment you wake up. You have the power to choose what influences your thoughts. You can choose discipline instead of distraction, gratitude instead of comparison, growth instead of fear. A protected mind becomes a stronger mind, and a stronger mind creates a stronger life. When you guard your mornings carefully, your emotions become more stable, your confidence grows, and your focus sharpens. Over time, this mental discipline changes the way you experience life itself. Instead of waking up already defeated by negativity, you begin waking up with clarity, peace, and purpose. Every person has two versions of themselves living inside them. One version is controlled by fear, excuses, laziness, and self-doubt. The other version is disciplined, focused, confident, and capable of achieving greatness. The difference between these two versions is not talent, luck, or intelligence. The difference is purpose. When you wake up with purpose every day, you begin feeding the stronger version of yourself. And over time, that version becomes unstoppable. Most people wake up without direction. They move through life automatically, repeating the same habits, thinking the same thoughts, and making the same excuses. They survive each day instead of building something meaningful. Without purpose, life starts feeling empty and repetitive. You lose motivation easily because you are living without a clear reason to push forward. But the moment you wake up with purpose, your energy changes. Your actions gain meaning. Your struggles begin to feel worthwhile because you know what you are fighting for. Purpose gives strength during difficult moments. Anyone can feel motivated when life is easy, but true power appears when challenges come. There will be mornings when you feel tired, discouraged, or emotionally exhausted. There will be moments when failure, rejection, and stress make you question yourself. Without purpose, these moments break people. But when your life is connected to something meaningful, you continue moving forward even when motivation disappears. Purpose becomes fuel for discipline. Waking up with purpose means starting the day intentionally instead of emotionally. It means remembering your goals before distractions take over your mind. It means understanding that your time is valuable and your life has meaning. Purpose creates focus because it reminds you what truly matters. When you know where you are going, it becomes easier to ignore distractions that once controlled you. An unstoppable person is not someone who never feels fear or doubt. An unstoppable person is someone who keeps moving despite fear and doubt. Purpose creates this kind of resilience. It teaches you to rise again after setbacks instead of giving up. People without purpose often quit when life becomes uncomfortable because they have no deeper reason to continue. But people driven by purpose develop emotional endurance. They understand that pain is temporary, but regret can last forever. Your morning is the perfect time to reconnect with your purpose. Before the noise of the world enters your mind, you have an opportunity to remind yourself who you are becoming. Early mornings allow you to think clearly about your future, your values, and your goals. In that quiet space, you can prepare your mindset before facing the pressures of life. This daily connection with purpose strengthens mental clarity and confidence. Purpose also changes the way you use time. When you understand that your life matters, you stop wasting energy on meaningless distractions. You become more intentional about your habits, your environment, and your decisions. You realize that every day is an opportunity to grow stronger, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Instead of asking, "How can I stay comfortable?" you begin asking, "How can I improve?" Many people wait for external motivation to change their lives, but purpose creates internal motivation. It comes from within. It is deeply personal. It is connected to the future you want to create and the person you want to become. External motivation fades quickly, but purpose remains powerful because it is tied to identity and meaning. Another reason purpose makes people unstoppable is because it builds consistency. When your actions are connected to something important, you become willing to sacrifice comfort for growth. Waking up early, staying disciplined, exercising, learning, working hard, and protecting your mindset no longer feel like punishment. They become part of your mission. Purpose transforms discipline into commitment. There is also a deep sense of confidence that comes from living with purpose. Many people feel lost because they spend their lives trying to please others or follow paths that do not truly inspire them. But when you wake up each day connected to your own vision, your confidence grows naturally. You stop comparing yourself constantly because you become focused on your own journey. Being unstoppable does not mean life becomes easy. Challenges will still come. There will still be failures, disappointments, and moments of weakness. But purpose changes the way you respond to those struggles. Instead of collapsing under pressure, you adapt and continue moving forward. You stop seeing obstacles as reasons to quit and start seeing them as part of your growth. Every morning gives you a choice. You can continue living without direction, repeating the same patterns, and staying trapped in comfort. Or you can wake up with purpose and begin building the strongest version of yourself. The people who change their lives are not always the smartest or most talented. Often, they are simply the people who decided to live intentionally every single day. Purpose gives your life direction. Discipline gives your actions power. And when purpose and discipline work together consistently, you become unstoppable.